Let's talk about pre-race and post-race diet and recovery. So we have Indra and Divya, both are nutritionists with Aquafy. So, a few things I want to just start off with for you, Divya. So, pre-race diet, and also pre-race, any strategy that someone can do to increase their endurance.
Okay, so yes, food is definitely a very important thing that all of us have to concentrate on. But more than food, hydration is extremely important. Any sport for that matter, especially running, it's extremely important because you cannot carry water bottles while you run. So an hour before you start practicing basically your race, even on your practice sessions, you'll have to hydrate yourself really well. Say example, your run is at 6 o'clock. Usually that's the time that you guys start. So when you start at 6, your hydration should start from 5 o'clock. So from 5 to 6, make sure that you at least drink like about minimum 500 to 750 ml water. So which is inclusive of an electrol drink as well. The electrolyte drink is not just the electrol that you mix and drink. It can also be like a glass of buttermilk with salt and ginger, or it can be lime juice with salt and honey, or jaggery. So it can be any fruit juice for that matter. Basically, it has to have some kind of a salt and a sugar. So this hydration is one part. Another thing is food. So before an activity, your body needs a lot of carbohydrates. And these carbohydrates has to be complex, which is like slow releasing. Whatever you eat should actually help you in performing better. So it gives you glucose while you are actually running. So choose food that is easily digestible and it doesn't have more of carbs, fiber. So when it has more of fiber, what happens is like you end up having stomach, issues like gas or acidity or flatulence. These are common things that most of them face while they run. So pick up fruits which is less of fiber. It can be like an apple or guava or oranges, pomegranate without seeds. If it is juice, yes, it's fine. Fruits, I wouldn't suggest before your race. You can always have it post race. Melons are like the best fruits that you can consume. So this will be your carbohydrate, and your body also needs little amount of fat and little amount of protein, which you can add like a teaspoon of peanut butter or like almond butter. So that will help you get your energy source after half an hour of your training. So maximum your training would be like an hour and a half. So after half an hour, your body starts giving you energy from the fat and the protein source. So make sure that meal contains little amount of protein, little amount of fat, and good amount of carbohydrates. And so this meal has to be minimum an hour before. So like 5:15, an hour to 45 minutes before an event, you should have your meal. So that's when this is going to help in energy conversion. So never work out on an empty stomach because your muscles will start breaking down to give you energy. So it's always good to have a meal an hour before you start your session.
Okay. Yeah. So the point that fruits and vegetables, they are very high source of fiber. So Indra and I, we had a conversation that it's always, like you said, it's better not to add before the race. It's okay to do it after the race when you're recovering. And about carbohydrate, like you talked about carbohydrate, how much somebody needs to take and how much they have to load, and how many days before they have to load. Do you have any like specific strategies? Somebody who is new to this carbohydrate loading, can you give a little bit of a detail, like what is it, so they have an idea?
Yes, Gary. So the carbohydrate loading is basically an art that you practice. So when, say example, you're doing a longer intensity training, or like you're doing a longer run, so you need to plan this. When your intensity is higher, you need to plan it minimum a week before you. So that's when your carbohydrate loading starts. So when I say example, you're on a very strict diet like sports nutrition, you can still have rice for your dinner the last 7 days prior to your event, because rice, and I wouldn't say you can eat white rice. It can be your hand pounded rice or millets or brown rice, because that does contain good amount of carbohydrates, which is complex. Or you can have potatoes like last 3 days, give more of simple carbs, which
Mm-hmm.
can be your sweet potatoes, or like you can give normal potatoes with skin, because when you combine it with skin, it kind of neutralizes the fiber and the carbs. It is a better combination to consume. So, or like one banana bedtime, that is still a good amount of carbohydrate. So these are the food choices that you can do. See, a lot of people use rotis, but rotis cannot be a part of carbohydrate loading majorly. So if you are a
Mm-hmm.
roti person, then please have like sweet potato along, or like a banana before you go to bed. So that's your carbohydrate loading happens majorly the dinner part. So you load the carbohydrates, the last meal of the day. So, and you need to load for minimum 7 days, and
Seven
the
days.
grams, the quantity depends on the goals of the client. I mean, there are a lot of details that we should understand: their current body weight, their fat percentage, their race details, like where are they going to race, and how many kilometers they're going to race. So there are a lot of details that gets
Mm-hmm.
into the loading part. This is like very specific. So, but on
Mm-hmm.
average, it is like good 7 days is a real good number.
It's a real good number. 7 days, and really depends what is the type of race you're going to run, and how much is your body actually, how much you eat, and how much you want to eat on top of that. Okay, that's a very good point.
Yes.
Okay, and so let's talk about some recovery strategies in terms of pre-race or not post-race recovery. So I was reading about post-race recovery. So usually, like we know that we have, as you all know, we have 4 different types of recovery. The literature is saying mainly that a cold water immersion is better than any other things. It's actually cold water immersion and massage therapy are the two most effective strategies than the passive as well as the active recovery. So, um, so in between the cold water recovery and the massage recovery, so there's not a really big difference. So whichever works best for someone, or whichever if it's available and it's affordable. I don't know. In different parts of the world, I don't know how expensive these things are. So a simple thing, cold water recovery. If you be more fancier, have to get all these sports massage and everything, go for the sports massage. I think that's what I get from this. Do you have any ideas on that, Divya?
So, like, if you ask me, like, with experience, I would say cold water is like basically ice bath is much easier. It's very economic. All what you have to do is like buy a tub. If you already have a tub, yes, easy to go with it. You don't have to buy a bathtub. It's just the blue color tub which Indians use. So that's one thing, easy to buy, and like about 10 kgs of raw ice that's good enough. So you basically fill the tub, half of the tub with water, and just add the ice to it. Just do like about 15 minutes, because what happens is, like, initially the first 1 minute it's going to take you higher, because it's like ice, cold ice. So you will get immune to it after a minute. First 1 minute very difficult to manage. First, to get used to it.
Of course.
After that, you'll start enjoying it, because your muscles are going to breathe well. Because there's so much of blood that flows up and comes down. So when your blood flow increases, your oxygen carrying capacity, your muscles has enough oxygen supply. So basically your muscles are tight because it hasn't got like good oxygen supply, right? So your recovery is quicker. So say on the same day you have another session, your performance will be the same. Like, you can perform really well because your muscles are already recovered, right? So that actually helps a lot. Like, if you take like serious sports like soccer or like cricket in India, that's played the most in India, and at least that's where the importance is given in India, at least by the audience. Even they do cold water, basically ice therapy, after every single session. Say example, you have like 2 or 3 sessions, it's at least like minimum 2 ice baths is good enough. If you can't do it on a daily basis, at least try and do like minimum thrice a week. And another biggest mistake that most of us do is, we like, once you're done with a session like a high intensity workout, what we do is we need to take a hot water shower. So that's like one mandatory thing that, see what happens is it's more a psychological thing, wherein you psychologically feel good because you've taken like a very good warm shower and you feel relaxed. So what happens is, it's a very simple method. Take a glass of hot water and pour it on top of your hand. You'll automatically take it back because your brain says it's gonna burn. Like, take another glass of cold water and try to pour it on your hand. You're not gonna react much because you're cool about it. Wherein the hot, your muscles contract. With cold, your muscle relaxes. So end of the day, for recovery, your muscles has to
relax
breathe.
and
It has to relax. That's recovery. So cold water shower makes a lot of sense in recovery than hot water shower. So never do hot water shower immediately after your workout session. So that's another thing that that's exactly why with swimming especially, these kids, they shower and then they come out of the swimming pool. Basically the entire building. So they go back home and do hot water shower. But other sport we play, even whether it is recreational or a serious elite athletes, we come back home and take hot water shower. See, this has been a tradition in India. We believe that, so that helps in soothing
absolutely. So to talk about the cold water, the cold aspect of it. So so when we are when I'm doing a resuscitation on a patient, so is somebody after a cardiac arrest, so what we usually do is something called hypothermia protocol. So basically we'll cool the patient down to cool the patient down to 94 degree Fahrenheit, 96 degree. So basically we're trying to help recover as much as brain muscle as possible. Brain is also muscle. So I think it's the same concept needs to be, it's same concept for any other muscle. Decrease the function of a muscle, so the muscle is not working too much. Muscle is relaxing, and then the blood is flowing because we have cooled it enough, so not a whole lot of body is recovering that blood flow. So blood is trying to flow in a very normal pattern rather than going to the gut or to this and that place and everywhere. So also the blood is clearing all the all the stuff that we have, the lactic acid, the creatinine, all those things. So those things, when they get moved out of the muscle, so you have a much more much more relaxed muscle. So I think that makes a lot of sense. We never warm somebody after somebody has a cardiac arrest to increase the blood flow. You think that when I warm it, the blood flow increases. Yes, blood flow increases. You also, like you said, the whole opposite thing happens. More muscle works more, muscle gets more contracted, muscle. So that's a very good point. So let's quickly talk about post recovery nutrition, Indira. So give us some details about post recovery nutrition.
Pre-workout, post-workout is also very important when it comes to any physical activity for that matter. Because your body uses the glycogen, whatever is present in the muscle, to use it as the fuel for the whatever workout or whatever race. Especially it is needed more when you are doing an endurance sport like race. So especially carbs and protein are very important when it comes to post activity. So carbs to compensate on the whatever glycogen lost during the process of activity, and protein to rebuild the muscle whatever breakdown which is lost. And very importantly, both carbs and protein is needed for the recovery period. So few options what they can have is, they can have sweet potato, which is very good for recovery, and fruits. Any fruit is okay, especially pineapple, kiwi, banana, papaya, melons are very good for recovery. And for protein, they can opt for whey protein or plant proteins, or they can have chicken. Eggs is easy form which they can carry whenever or wherever they go. They can easily carry it. They can have nuts, or if they are planning to have a meal as such, then they can have grilled chicken or omelette along with some vegetables. So these are like few options which they can have, because these are all good choices and easily absorbable. So these are few choices they can use as a post-workout meal.
Okay. So more of high protein diet is that what they have to do, and then high carb diet, or what kind of diet?
Both has to be there. Both has to be there.
Okay.
And it will be better if they take maximum 20 to 30 minutes after the activity.
So 20 to 30 minutes after activity. So is there do we have like a particular composition? This much carbs, this much can you give an example of what would be a post recovery meal look like? I would say I take X amount of this, X amount of that, X amount of that.
Okay. For example, fruits like 100 grams of any one fruit, or a mixed fruit 100 grams with 2 eggs would be an easy options. Or they can have 150 grams of chicken or fish, along with one medium size or big size sweet potato which is boiled. But the exact portion size has to be defined only after proper discussion with that particular person.
Got it. So the point is, I get the point. It's not too much, not too little, so you are not too tired after the workout. And so I think that's about it.